Now for our next topic, career choices. We'll be going over ones that require a degree and ones that don't. Believe me, you'll be very surprised at the ones that don't. So, lucrative careers, starting out, you know, I have doctor on here, number one on the list. Obviously, there's almost no way that you can be a doctor without a degree. Me personally, I wouldn't want a doctor operating on me that doesn't have a degree. So there's that. There's just a lot of risk involved with that. And but if you do go to school fully for 8 years, it is a highly rewarding career, financially, etc. I will say that on the list of millionaires study that was found, top 5 career choices that end up becoming millionaires later on in life, doctor was not on there. So that just goes to show that there's a right way to pursue this and a wrong way to pursue it. I had a friend of mine that did it the right way. He got his bachelor's degree in a lucrative career, in a career path pretty much, and he worked for 2 years at a hospital, and from there he went to med school. People do the opposite. They study pre-med, which really doesn't give them much career outcomes after graduation, so then they go straight into med school and rack up a lot of debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. And those are usually the callers that call into Dave Ramsey asking about how to pay off their student loan. So yeah, definitely if you want to pursue the doctor career path, do it the right way. Next up, I have lawyer. So lawyer is the second on the list. It's another lucrative career. It's not as expensive as med school, let's say law school, but it is pretty dang expensive, especially if you go to like a Harvard or a reputable law school. It's a very lucrative career. This is one of the careers that you can end up making millions off of if done right. Again, you just want to stay away from having a big load of student loan debt as much as possible. Work as a paralegal while you go to school, work for a company that will pay for your law school, things of that nature. Those will set you up for financial success. Next up, we have engineering. So engineering does require a degree for the most part. When you're talking about civil, mechanical, electrical, things like that. I will say that this is a lucrative career path. A lot of engineering degrees don't cost as much, don't cost that much. If you go to like a Georgia Tech, let's say, for example, I've had people that I knew friends that literally was paying $6,000 a semester, which, ends up being $12,000 to $15,000 a year pretty much for them. And, a lot of them don't have student loan debt, surprisingly. So engineering is definitely one that I recommend. It's one path that you can pursue. Architecture is the last one. Yes, architecture does require a degree. However, we'll go over some other career paths within architecture that don't require a degree as well. So yeah, let's get into it now. Career paths that don't require a degree. Number 1, I have design drafting. Again, this falls under the umbrella of architecture and engineering. So when you become an architect, and I'm talking about, after putting years in, or if you become an engineer, professional engineer, you have your PE license, whatever the case might be, you're not going to be doing the grunt work. You're just going to be signing off on stuff pretty much. So the people that are going to be doing the grunt work, let's say, the design work, are the design drafters. They're going to make all the drafts using computer-aided software, and then they'll pass it on to the architect to get stamped. Why is this number 1 on my list? Well, because it's a very lucrative career. It's highly demanding in terms of hours, but they do get paid well. I've seen $30 to $40 an hour on average for these positions, and a lot of people definitely love doing it. So there's that. Next up, we have construction trade work. So construction trade work, think about mechanical, electrical, plumbing, being a plumber, whatever the case might be. You'll be surprised, like a lot of these tradesmen, let's say, are in the six-figure range, right? And I know you might be thinking like, that's a lot of hard work, it's tough on the body. Well, the good thing about, construction trade work is that you don't have to be doing it forever. I believe if you just put in 10 years worth of work, you immediately pretty much get a management position where you're actually running crews out there on site, not doing the work yourself, just, managing the paperwork side of things, and you're getting paid a lot of money for doing that. So it's a very good, lucrative career choice if you don't have a degree, or if you're not trying to pursue a degree. Number 3 is a very good one as well. Software engineering. Now, I'm not just saying anyone can just become a software engineer that doesn't have a degree. There's actually tech boot camps or, online free YouTube videos, if you know where to look, that can actually teach you how to code. So coding is a very lucrative career path, especially nowadays with AI and whatever the case might be. You have big tech companies like Facebook, Google hiring coders or software engineers without a degree, and honestly, people don't even bat an eye if you don't have a degree. They just care if you can code, if you can, develop software, things like that. So that's another six-figure range paying career path that doesn't necessarily require a degree. Engineering technician is next on the list. You can make anywhere from $50,000 to upwards of $100,000 a year in doing this, depending on what type of technician you are in, depending on the discipline of engineering. You have civil technicians, you have mechanical technicians, and you have electrical technicians. All they're doing is pretty much the hands-on work of the designers. So, for example, civil engineering technicians are the ones that actually stress test the concrete, for example, to see under what stress and pressure the concrete will break at, and how much rebar or reinforcement is required, etc. And you're basically back checking the designer's work, trying to make sure it's practical in real life. Medical technician is also a good lucrative career. They make in pretty good money as well. I believe the range is around 50 to 100 as well. And so think about your radiology technicians, people that anesthesiologists that administer anesthesia to the patients. There's a lot of medical tech jobs and stuff like that don't require a degree. They do require training. However, you won't be paying for a 4-year degree in any of these fields. So, there you have it. Now, in addition to everything that I just laid out here, I'm going to go ahead and play a clip from Ken Coleman, which is a Dave Ramsey co-host that goes over career choices. He has a really good video on career paths that don't require a degree, and so I want you guys to go ahead and check that out real quick. Here it is.
All right, Joe, we got some really good news here. We call it In the News. All right, Yahoo News out with some new information. Go Banking Rates identified 10 different jobs that pay the top earners in this industry over $100,000 annually, and these jobs do not require the traditional 4-year degree. I got somebody's attention, didn't I? And this is data that Go Banking Rates pulled from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I'm going to roll through these pretty quickly. Again, you can find this on Yahoo. And here we go. Number 1, no particular order here, aerospace engineering and operations. Annual salary for top earners, $99,970. Woo! That's nice. Next, air traffic controller. Annual salary for top earners, $176,000. That is a high-stress job, though. I'm going to tell you right now, You better be wired for this. You want to talk about talent? You want to talk about natural talent? You better be a pretty chill, low-key reactor. That ought to be one of your soft skills. Let me tell you who would not do well as an air traffic controller. Joe Hankin and Ken Coleman. Neither one of us.
Say what? I would be a great ATC. Air traffic
Joe,
controller.
really?
Yeah.
I don't want to do this right now.
Okay.
Your colleagues are going, no chance. So I'll just leave it at that so that I'm not the bad guy because I included myself in that.
Okay.
Joe, the way we're wired, that you got to be really relaxed with a lot of stuff coming at you and super, super low key and chill. You're not. You're very jumpy. Nathan, on the other hand, would be a great air traffic controller. Trevor, the YouTube, you would. You know that. Because here's what's going on. You're talking life and death decisions, a lot of stuff coming at you. You got to be like really, really chill. And Joe, you and I, we're passionate guys. We've got a little bit of the we've got the jet fuel in our veins. Nathan's got embalming fluid. You took that as a negative. No, it's not a negative, bro.
No, Nathan is smooth. You're all right.
All right. Thank you. Joe has now walked back into self-awareness. All right. Next, crafts and fine arts. Now, I got to tell you, this one was interesting to me. The annual salary for top earner is $106,000. This really comes down to how good you are at creating stuff like glassware, pottery, textiles, even illustrators, painters, and sculptors. So I want to put a caution note by this one. You don't need a college degree. What they're pointing out is obviously you just go out and start putting your stuff out at the old flea market or farmer's market or whatever. If you do really good pottery and you build it over time. But what I'm going to tell you is you better have a day job if you're going after this kind of thing. All right, next, dental hygienist. Annual salary for top earners, $103,000. Dental hygienists. But again, let me tell you something. You may not need the 4-year degree, but you better be precise. Because I promise you, if you get up into my gums, you get one shot. And then on the second try, Nathan, I'm out of the chair and I'm going to the dentist. I don't care where he is. I'm going, hey, listen, that person stays out of my mouth. All right? I don't want you touching my teeth. Got to be precise, Joe. Next, elevator installer and repair. Think about how many elevators there are. I would have never thought of this. Annual salary, $124,000. Now, listen. This is the person who you like fixing stuff, like solving problems. Now, Joe, you would be great. See, your colleagues behind you, they're going, that's Joe. You know why you'd be great at this? You love coming in and saving the day. You've got a personal touch. You're mechanically gifted. You could come in and go, we'll get it fixed. We'll take care of it. You're reporting the whole time. Not air traffic control, elevator repair. Let's see. Funeral service manager. Annual salary for top earners, $161,000. Now, let me tell you something. This person, you better have the talent of being very organized, detail-driven, and you better be empathetic and compassionate. You got that? You can be great. This was surprising to me, Joe. Nuclear technician. Doesn't that sound very scary? Very detailed?
Yes.
Huh? You don't need it. You don't need the old 4-year degree. $117,000. And they're monitoring radiation levels and other nuclear activities. So you better like processes. Police or a detective, annual salary for top earners, $109,000. Radiation therapist is next, annual salary for top earners, $128,000. With the increase of oncology treatments and cancer and other diseases, you're going to see more and more of this. You're going to see this grow. And again, this is putting people at ease and putting people in the machine. That's basically what it is. You know, it's like, I'm a little nervous right now. It's going to be okay. I know you're a little chilly. We'll get you a cup of soup when you're done. By the way, all those rooms are freezing cold. So this is information. Make people feel good. Put them in the machine, do the scan properly, and get them out of there. And then finally, and this is where, again, this is where my friends at Bethel Tech BethelTech.net. They can get you trained in 9 months, less than 15 grand. Web developers, annual salary for top earners, $142,000, and that's not going to go anywhere. So there you go. Again, Yahoo is the source, the world's most in-demand jobs that don't require a degree. There they are, 10 of them. You can make over 100 grand as a top earner, and you don't need the traditional 4-year degree. That is good, good, good.
All right, so you saw what he had to say there. Pretty much you have a lot of options when it comes to lucrative careers that don't require a degree. I'm personally not anti-degree. I do have a bachelor's degree in the STEM field. However, I'm just saying weigh out your pros and cons. Make sure that your degree is going to give you a return on investment. The last thing I'd want for you guys is to be in massive student loan debt, like many people have been in the past.